Artwork is really beautiful, guys. You guys should
I'm not
check
trying
it
to
out.
pump the comic, but I'm trying to
Can I have this? Really?
Yeah, pimp it.
Pimp it.
Yeah,
Pimp the comic.
Pimp it.
Right.
That's
awesome.
At www.tjandamal.com. And it started out as there was a Bishonen contest, drawing contest. And she decided, instead of drawing the girls that are boys thing, she wanted, like, what would be two guys that would look really cool on that, and that's how she came up with these guys.
You're cool.
I like.
You two are the guys.
I like those. No, that's a super touching story.
That is
really awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people think they're...
Voice acting.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Steve Blum.
Voice acting. No, voice acting is what? We're bringing out little bits of life, and this is a real bit of life. So.
Well, I've got one for you.
Okay.
Do you have a studio at home?
I do have a studio at home.
What's your setup?
I have a little M-Box. It's a really bare bone system. M-Box, Shure, large diaphragm mic, and Mac Tower.
No preamp.
No preamp. Nope.
What do you use for recording?
For recording, I just go straight in the M-Box. I record directly in the M-Box. I have a room that I built out of an old closet that I put 4-inch Rolex foam.
Awesome.
And so it sounds great in there. Yeah. Do you guys have any interest in this at all?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, every time I do cons and we do voice acting panels, the technical part never ever comes up. And that always seems strange to me.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know you're thinking, well, no, it's about anime, but it's about voice acting too.
That's true.
And a lot of people want to know, well, how'd you get your start in voice acting? Well, part of it is my experience in AV.
Yeah.
And computers. And because of all of that, I've been able to put that skill to use in something outside.
I had to learn that on the other side of it. I had to learn that because the auditions are done from home quite often now, and I spend 80% of my time doing auditions, as we all do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so I built myself a home studio, and it's not super high-end, but even the way I've designed it, I have enough engineer friends that have given me advice that I can get a really good sound.
Yeah.
I can get the sound of a $3,500 mic out of a $300 mic, so.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
I have an MXL 990, which is like the classic $100 microphone, and so many people come in and they're like, wow, that sounds really good.
It was cheap.
Yeah, it's a great victory.
How much do you think I paid for it?
That's what I do with my shoes. Because I wear kids' shoes, so I shop at Payless because I wear 2 in children's. Duh.
Wow.
But yeah, so everyone's like, oh my god, they're just so cute, where can you get them? I'm like, dude, I can wear LA Lights, man. I seriously doubt you can get me shoes. I can wear Dora the Explorer. Yeah.
Wow. See, you make me think of Stephen Colbert when he was on Harvey Birdman. Your shoes, your feet are so tiny. I love you, I hate you.
I know, but I hate you.
I would wear Dora the Explorer shoes if I could.
Yeah. I really do want some LA Lights, but it seems like it would be bad. Because, I don't know, give someone a seizure or something. You know, like just because I'm wearing the shoes and I'm dancing and they keep lighting up. I was just washing your feet. You know, like, oh, wait.
We can find Brittany at the rave.
Yeah, right?
I know.
Right. Oh, those raves are fun, man. Oh, they all smell like a Subway.
And not the sandwich.
No, yeah, like the purple onions.
Mustard and diapers.
Mustard and diapers. There's also a slight scent of mustard and diapers, for sure.
It's just a hint.
Does anyone else have a question? Yes, you remember.
Which do you prefer, video games or anime doing the voiceovers on?
Are we doing nice answers or realistic answers?
Realistic.
I think they have to be mutually exclusive.
That's true.
I actually like anime a little bit more.
Anime for the characters,
Yeah.
Games for the money.
Yeah, for money. Yeah, if it's characters versus money, but just actually enjoying, which one is a little. I like with an anime you have already developed. You know what I mean? It's just you get to develop a little. The character's already made, but you get to put a little bit of you into it. And a lot of times with video games, it's just this way, or it's black and white. It needs to be this way. So I just find it.
Yeah, I like the technical aspect of recording for anime, just because that's where I started, and I just have that natural boop, boop, boop record in my head all the time for everything I do. So it's like a super luxury for me to be able to do something off the screen but there's a lot of lines that you have to do in video games over and over and over and over in every possible incarnation you can imagine. That gets old really quick. But that said, the video games are getting a lot more cinematic, and there's getting to be a lot better writing for video games. So I think that's going to get better across the board for everybody. And some of them are actually pretty fun. And you do make money on that. Anime you can't really make a living on.
Did you really like? Oh, see, that's a dumb question. How much did you enjoy Dragon Age?
Oh, that was fun because literally I could go to the sessions drunk. Then curse that, belching and vomiting,
Passing out in the sessions, they loved every bit of that.
Now, did they have all of those? Because throughout that game, I'm gonna nerd here. Can I please? Throughout the game, I know that you have trigger points that would cause the conversations to happen. I'm always curious you must have had a blast with all those back and forths that happened in there.
It was so much fun. And I felt like they were making it up on the spot because it was so different from so many of the games that we had done. And he was just such a ridiculous character. And I have no idea how it all played out in the game. I am not a gamer, so I really don't know what the context eventually became. But man, it was fun. He was just one of the most disgusting, fun characters I've ever played. And the grosser I could make him, the better. The grosser the references to his wife and
That bitch.
that whore, but I still love her.
Yeah. Well, because there was the point in the game where stuff happens. I'm like, what is this relationship? Because my character, it's like, what is my relationship to your character now?
Yeah.
How's that changed? And went, oh, okay, well, it's pretty much all right.
Yeah.
Like, all right. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's such a good. My buddy who works for BioWare forced all these games on me because I had stopped playing. I was like, I got shit to do, man. I don't have time to play these games. And then just play Dragon Age. Just try it out. And I'm like, okay, totally in it.
Yeah.
Totally in it. Yeah. So now it's Dragon Age, StarCraft 2, Portal 2, Dragon Age 2, and I think that Need for Speed.
Oh, nice. It's a nice, well-rounded mixture.
Sure,
It's good.
sure.
Yes, you're a solid citizen.
Agreed.
I'm trying to be a
True
Renaissance
that,
man. Yeah, true that.
True that, yo. Yes.
Why is it that the video games actually pay more than that?
I wish I knew.
They make more money.
They do make more
They
money.
do.
And they're not quite as easy to rip off.
Yeah.
I think part of what is killing the anime industry is just that people share it and people don't want to buy it anymore. And people have to make money somewhere in the industry for it to survive. And so it's very difficult to keep that alive when people aren't respecting that. And games, even though they are Rev 2, people do want the box. They want the art. They want the pamphlet on the inside. They want that whole visceral experience of it. And so it seems to be going. But the budgets for video games are enormous. They're bigger than films, and they're making more money than films. They're making tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, a good question is, how many animes do you own and how many video games do you own? Which one do you own more of?
I own more anime.
Really? Surprising. I mean, a lot of times the answer is, way more video games. But,
So, one of the changes that happened in video games that stopped a lot of the pirating from happening is they found a better business model. Steam and ways to get things out by that. They realized if we add extra content that you can only get from us, people will be encouraged to pay, and they were like, look at iTunes and a lot of the markets, the Android markets. The people go, if it's $1, if it's a couple bucks, I'll throw some money that way. That's no problem. And so I've been thinking about that and been thinking, why can't we come up with a new model for the way we distribute anime? Because right now, it's like we're putting a hot pie, on the windowsill and saying, I'm going to walk away now, and I'm not going to see what you're doing, but don't you steal my pie.
Yeah.
And then we're like, God, I'm so pissed off that someone stole my pie.
I don't understand why they did that.
And it seemed like the game industry kind of figured that out. And if there was some way that we could start changing the way we distribute anime, that might help. I mean, part of it has to be, we need to put out better anime. We need to put better stories, not the repeat of something else, but something new. Oh. Mine did? Oh, you're just so sonorous, it just went.
Yes,
it
I
just
swallowed
went.
it.
There you go. But so why not find a way of getting that content out there, like do simultaneous? They're starting to finally do simultaneous release, both in Japan and the US. Because we all know that once it's released in Japan, once it hits TV, 10 minutes later it's in the US.
Yep.
So we have to recognize that and change it, you know, and maybe even give the Americans a little more responsibility in getting that done. I personally think that's part of the problem that we're having with the industry right now, is that there's the Japanese way of doing things, and there's the American way of doing things, and the people aren't really able to talk. For some reason, it's totally different things. The creative people have difficulty talking to the business people. And the business people say, well, this always worked before, why is it changed now? And they're not thinking, oh, this has to be something slightly different, or it has to be something more interesting, or we need to put out a better product for people to continue to buy this and be encouraged to buy it.
I think you're really totally onto something about that. Like, you know, with the video games, you can always download a new map. You know what I mean? You pay like, what, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, you can get a new map. Like, they're always updating them. There's always, you know what I mean? And yeah, like Call of Duty. But the thing is you can't rip that off really. You have to buy the new map, or you're not gonna get the new map because it's only on Xbox Live, so, or in PlayStation. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can only buy it through how do you buy it? Like,
You go through the store.
through the store, yeah. So
get on the network.
if we could do something like that, you're right. That would be a very good idea. If you could find something like that with the anime, like extras you can only get that way, I think that would be I think you're right.
Or like being able to get the content to the distributors in America before it's been on TV in Japan. You know,
That's a problem.
Put in the raws.
That's a problem because you know what? They record and then animate,
And then it's out.
and then they get it out as quickly as possible. And so it's difficult to say, hey, could you ship that over here for us? What? Hey, can we come together and have a distribution schedule? Could we do all of that? No. We've always made money this way before, so that shouldn't change. Well, the industry's going to be dead before you realize, you know. But that's a corporate thing, to where we're going to run that idea into the ground, and then once it's dead, we'll go, now maybe we'll do it some kind of change. And unfortunately, I feel like that's where we are right now. Everything's going to hell right now.
Places are just dropping off.
And then the oversaturation that was in like the early 2000s, it was just like so much coming out. It's like you couldn't buy everything.
Right.
Yeah, really. Like in 2000, I was working quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Which could be good for us, because we're like, yeah! It's like I've never watched most of the stuff, because I was busy going to another section.
Yeah. Because you're already doing another job by then, but... Yeah, no, I've watched it. I mean, ADV that I worked for went out of business, and that was pretty depressing, I will say. I really wish that we could, as a group, get together and start buying stuff instead of downloading it for free. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Buy your stuff.
Yeah, if you like an anime, go buy it. Support the Japanese.
What about the free online, like on Hulu, you can watch anime, but you gotta watch ads and make money off the advertisements?
That's
Isn't that
another
good?
way.
You're right.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah, but Crunchyroll's all good.
yeah, because they have some stuff that's not ripped off, but they started off as ripped off. And it's like, great, and hey man, we're just trying to promote your product. No, you've already sold the experience before we could actually make money off of it. And
You've got advertising support on top of that.
yeah, if you can get some advertising support with it, like the Hulu model, which is a little bit wobbly, to be honest. I mean, I love the Hulu model. I don't have cable anymore. I get all my stuff downloaded, you know, through Hulu or Netflix or those things. Because I don't have a problem paying for that. But I also don't want, you know, but then also, I don't want to spend $120 on a series of something that is meh, you know? It's difficult. We have to take the next step. We need to step it up. get to that, get to a lot of what the good Hollywood stuff that's coming through, and the good independent stuff. And we have examples. We have examples of stuff that's working all the time. It's not like we go, well, how are we going to make this from scratch? Well, let's look at shows like Battlestar Galactica. How would you like to have an anime that was as good as Battlestar Galactica? Star Wars! Yeah. Or, as I always say, my standard is it as good as Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
If it's not, then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But, I want to do a Bebop.
Yeah.
I want to do something that you go, oh my God, that's awesome. I want to do a Game of Thrones. Have you watched that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's possible, but it has to be that the creative people, the people that are really going for it, are given the chance to go for it.
It's got really heavy, man.
I know.
Let's have some more.
Mustard and
Another question.
What do you guys think of the hentai population in anime now?
It's all good. Do what you do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hang with them.
Okay, I've done a lot of characters that are completely nude, but no, I've never voiced in a hentai. But I have definitely done quite a few borderlines.
Wait, what? Give me a list.
Well, no, it just shows the kind of
Types
stuff
it
that
in
mine
the
would have been
language
Shuffle.
material.
You guys see Shuffle? It's just, there's a lot of nudity in it, or like, there's just a couple shows that a little bit, Dancing with a Vampire Bund. Woo! We all had to sign like little papers saying we wouldn't sue them, because it was like that horrible of content. Yeah, but I mean, it's an anime, it's not real life. So yeah, why not?
I accidentally did a hentai once. I didn't know what it was. They called me and they told me it was Project X. They said it was just a secret project. And so I came in and I started recording, and I'm about 10 minutes in. They said, okay, so you're the voice of this monster, and the monster's got like 50 tentacles, and it's about 80 feet tall.
You were a tentacle monster?
And his counter, I was a tentacle monster.
Was it Bible Black?
And I still don't know what the project was. But what they didn't tell me was that his partner was a little girl. And they had cameras going from the inside.
Gynocam.
And see, the Gynocam, that's what it was, yeah. And so I'm about 10 minutes into this thing, and I'm looking at this footage, and I didn't even know what it was that I was looking at first. And all they're saying is, okay, so now you're making it sound, make it really sloshy and gross. And so I'm going, horrible, disgusting sounds, and all of a sudden they pull out of the internal whatever cam, and I see what's actually going on. I went, oh, okay, no. Danger signs are coming up, and I literally got up and I walked out. That's the only session I've ever walked out of, and I just said, I can't be part of this, I'm sorry.
And later on you heard me going, hi Steve.
It's one of those where you're like, yeah, my name is Steve Vroom.
Vroom.
It's a different name.
I almost did a show, and now people think that I didn't do it because of moral reasons. But to be honest, in the beginning, I was a little weirded out. I'm like, there's a very few amount of people that have actually heard me have sex, and I think I'm good. I don't need a lot of people, to really hear that. And so that's kind of the thing. And then the show is called Ray Ray. Does anybody know that show? And it's actually really funny. Now I'm sad because it was really funny. And I was like, well, hell, if I was known it was really funny, I would have done it, Sure, I let a few people hear me have sex. I was going to play some old little guy, is what I forget what the character's name is. And later on, my wife, I was telling her, yeah, I almost did a hentai once. She goes, what was it, Ray Ray? She goes, you didn't do Ray Ray? I was like, oh, well. Anything to make you happy, babe.
Next comment from her was, do the old little guy. Just whisper in my ear, whisper.
That's only. Now, the same day that I met George Lowe for the first time, I was trying to get his voice down. And so the whole day I was like, hello, citizen. Hello, citizen. Like all day. At the end of the day, we get in bed. Lights go out, and we're just getting ready to go to sleep. And I went, well, hello, citizen. And I nailed it, nailed George Lowe's voice. Space Ghost. And my wife sits up and she turns on the light, and she turns and she goes, "Don't you ever do that. ever again."
I thought I was in bed with him and I'm scared. Turn on the light, she look at you like, is it you?
I was like, "Snack tip? No. No, stop it."
That is the greatest
Wow, the
part.
gauge went from full to empty that fast.
Yeah, wow.
5 minutes.